In regard to few professional philosophers and men of letters, is there any evidence that they did very much in the way of fulfilling the necessary conditions of direct spiritual knowledge? When poets or metaphysicians talk about the subject matter of the perennial philosophy, it is generally at second hand. But in every age there have been some men and women who chose to fulfill the conditions upon which alone, as a matter of brute empirical fact, such immediate knowledge can be had. And of these a few have left accounts of the reality they were thus enabled to apprehend, and have tried to relate, in one comprehensive system of thought, the given facts of this experience with the given facts of their other experiences. To such first-hand exponents of the perennial philosophy, those who knew them have generally given them the name of saint or prophet, sage or enlightened one, and it is mainly to these, because there is good reason for supposing that they knew what they were talking about, and not to the professional philosophers or men of letters, that I have gone for my selections. In India, two classes of scripture are recognized: the Shruti, or inspired writings, which are their own authority, since they are the product of immediate insight into ultimate reality, and the Smriti, which are based upon the Shruti and from them derive such authority as they have. The Shruti, in Shankara's words, depends upon direct perception. The Smriti plays a part analogous to induction, since, like induction, it derives its authority from an authority other than itself. This book, then, is an anthology, with explanatory comments, of passages drawn from the Shruti and Smriti of many times and places. Unfortunately, familiarity with traditionally hallowed writings tends to breed, not indeed contempt, but something which, for practical purposes, is almost as bad, namely a kind of reverential insensibility, a stupor of the spirit, an inward deafness to the meaning of the sacred words. For this reason, when selecting material to illustrate the doctrines of the perennial philosophy as they were formulated in the West, I have gone almost always to sources other than the Bible. This Christian Smriti, from which I have drawn, is based upon the Shruti of the canonical books, but has the great advantage of being less well known and therefore more vivid and, so to say, more audible than they are. Moreover, much of this Smriti is the work of genuinely saintly men and women, who have qualified themselves to know at first hand what they are talking about. Consequently, it may be regarded as being itself a form of inspired and self-validating Shruti, and this in a much higher degree than many of the writings now included in the biblical canon. In recent years, a number of attempts have been made to work out a system of empirical theology, but in spite of the subtlety and intellectual power of such writers as Sawley, Oman, and Tennant, the effort has met with only a partial success. Even in the hands of its ablest exponents, empirical theology is not particularly convincing,